Even our animal cousins need a bit of help from time to time. It's perfectly feathered and down on their luck friends need it the most. It's time to spread the love. Let's begin. This unfortunate kitty's day is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better, as a team of concerned folks spring into action to free this cat from its bad decision to poke its head through a tiny hole only to get stuck. It'll take some precision pounding to unstuck the cat, but at the end of the day, the cat will live on to go on to make more bad decisions. Let's face it, most people simply can't ignore an animal's plea for help. There's something in our DNA that needs to render assistance when called upon. That's what drew these regular guys to sprint to this young kitten's aid after it fell into the water with no way to get out. And at the end of it all, the cat wasn't just saved, but found a home with one of its saviors. That's one heck of an origin story for this newly formed, lifelong friendship. If you're a dog with a sweet tooth, just find a bakery with some vulnerable-looking people inside and give them a heavy dose of those puppy dog eyes. Eventually, they won't be able to resist and you'll get that sweet treat you've been dreaming about. This curious little baby deer made a silly mistake while stumbling around in the dark and dropped into a window dugout next to this house. The homeowners noticed the sound of the little critter trying to get out, but it was just small enough that it couldn't make it without a little human intervention. In no time, the baby deer was free and running to the forest with one heck of a story to tell. This unfortunate pooch found himself in the water with no way to get out. That's when these rescuers sprang into action and were able to lift the dog out of the river and to safety above. It's obvious the dog knows how lucky he is to have been saved from certain death, as he immediately starts to play with his new best friend. We'll never know the full story as to how this baby weasel found itself all alone in the middle of this road. But we do know the story of how it was rescued and nursed by these good Samaritans that luckily found this tiny little critter in its moment of need. Weasels are nature's smallest carnivores, and thanks to these nice people, this one gets to grow up and join the circle of life. Life in the desert is hard for any creature. Things can go from bad to worse to dire in a matter of moments. That is, unless a kind human comes to the rescue with the most life-saving tonic of all, some cool, clean water. This little fella will live on to eke out a harsh life in the desert thanks to our tender-hearted friend here. These street dogs know where to be in the evenings around closing time, and that's right in front of this Turkish butcher shop to wait for the day's leftovers. And judging by the size of each dog, they haven't been missing many meals thanks to our kind friend here. The last thing this fly fisherman thought he was going to catch in the river that day was a baby deer who managed to get stuck in the water. But not only was he in the right place at the right time to change the course of this young deer's life, but he made a friend too. Mankind's capacity for cruelty is only outdone by its capacity for kindness, demonstrated by this plastic bag left by the side of the road full of tiny kittens, only to be found and rescued by a kind-hearted soul. What could have been an unfortunate tragedy will have a happy ending, as all the kittens were nursed back to health and went on to live full and happy lives with adopted families. Talk about lucky. This dog should change its name to Lucky because it managed to get its paw stuck in railroad tracks in a rail yard exactly at the moment that it was filled with rail workers with the right tools at hand. And with the train bearing down, the crew had only moments to act to set it free. Lucky dog indeed. Let's face it, Birds aren't the friendliest creatures on our green earth, now are they? Nevertheless, they're still living beings and worthy of our help, even if they're not the most grateful. So hats off to anyone who'll put themselves between an angry bird and their personal safety to do the right thing. If you ever see a little bird like this, stranded on the ground, seemingly without any injuries, it's likely that it's in dire need of water. And if you want to help, please act quickly to deliver some water and protect it from potential predators. A bird like this is most vulnerable when on the ground. Wraps it up for today, my friends. It's nice to have a reminder like this to let us know that we're all part of the same ecosystem and connected in so many ways. And just like us, our animal relatives need us to step in from time to time. After all, we all need help sometimes, right? Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. See you next time.